Good evening. How are you? How is everybody doing this evening? Who are the ones who are invited for the first time? Who has never been to anything like this before? Who is here for the first time? Lift up your hands, please. Good, good, good. Please, let's give a strong applause for the people who are invited here for the first time. My function this evening is basically for the new people who are invited and are here for the first time. Those who lifted their hands because the grade or measurement will be my ability to explain what I saw in this business to you. This evening may be very important to you. It may be the most important night for you to understand this information. But it does not depend so much on you guys as it depends on me. So I'm going to do my work in the most sincere way and to the best of my ability for you to understand. If you do not understand, be calm and put the blame on me. I'm going to do what is possible for you to understand, to see the elements that are most important. And we're going to make a pact. Let's make a pact with each other. The minutes that I'm going to be here today, I'm going to do my very best to transmit the information in the best possible way that I have understood it. And if there is even one person that was invited that did not understand, please lift up your hand and say, I didn't understand. Can you explain this part to me? Or could you clarify whatever needs clarification? Are we on the same page? Because we do not want not even one person who was invited to leave tonight without understanding. We want you to understand. I understood, and if you do not want to do this, it may be because you have your own personal reason, but I don't want you to say, one time I went to one of those meetings and I didn't understand anything. I don't want that to happen because sometimes it does happen. The entire event is dedicated to you, the person who is invited here for the first time. Today, we're going to talk about keys to network marketing. The secrets that I'm going to share with you will help you understand what it takes to make it. The information today is going to work for everyone, including those who have been in the business for a while. My job is to make clear to you the value that you have in your hands. We have very little time and we're going to use it the best way that we can. So let's get started, shall we? Good. Very good. My name is Orlando Luna, and I am a native Texan. I live here in Burleson, Texas. I would like to share a little bit with you, especially for the people that are invited. Why is it very important that you listen to what I'm going to share with you tonight? It's very important that you put yourself in a ready position so that you can accept things that maybe up until today you have never heard before. If you are able to capture some of what I'm talking about, or if you can sense what I'm trying to say is sincere, your life has the possibility to change. I did not have this opportunity 8 years ago. It has been 8 years since I became aware of this project. It has been 8 years since I last worked as an employee in corporate America because of this information. 8 years ago, I was looking for something new and I found this information in Houston, Texas. All I simply did was have the precaution to listen to this information. I asked myself, what if the information I'm about to hear is sincere? What if it is a true opportunity to do something bigger than what I've been doing? In my case, I decided to listen without any walls up, and I was able to transform the future of my existence because I heard this information with a clear mind. I will never forget the day I decided to carefully listen to this information. The results of using the information that I'm about to share with you has transformed my existence and my future. So it is important that you listen and concentrate as much as you can. I'm going to try my best to share with you so you can capture this information. So if any of you, when I'm done, do not understand, tell me and I will explain it again. Do we understand? Okay, good. Well, I'm going to start. I'm going to start with something, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but maybe you're wondering. I studied a career. I went to postgraduate schools, and I even spent time in law school. And I worked in corporate America for 18 years. Okay, good. I had a position in management, but I became aware of something that started to concern me. I started to feel that I was not happy with my position, and it left me feeling empty inside year after year. Year after year, I felt that I was not happy, and I did not see things changing for me. Do you know someone who works but is not happy? No, really, do you? Do you know someone that is not happy? In my case, I had a job. I was an employee, but I was not happy. So I'm going to ask you the following question. Is it worth it to live your life without being happy? No. No, 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 no. Guess why? Because we came into this world to be happy. We should all find something and work for the existence to be happy. Our existence in this life is to be happy, and that is a choice we freely have. If you're not happy with the life you live, you must fight. Fight to be happy. For one reason only, because life is too short and will pass you by. Life goes by in a minute. And if you're not happy, you must not settle for mediocrity like I did and continue living unhappy. You must fight to be happy. We must fight to be happy because when we were born, life was meant to be happy. So, my situation 8 years ago, I was in a position and I began to see that I would wake up in the morning and take a shower at around 6 a.m. Is there anyone here who takes a shower at 5 a.m.? How about 4 a.m.? How crazy is that? I studied for 20 plus years. Why do I tell you that? Because for those people that have never gone to college, or if you want to go to college, this is the place for you. Welcome. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. What I'm going to share with you will save you what I've already lived. The important thing is that you are a good person. That is what is most valuable in life. The important thing is that you have a positive mental attitude and that your spirit is awake. One of the many secrets that you will uncover is you have 100% control of your mind and you can educate yourself to do whatever it is you want to do. So here are today doctors, lawyers, professors, and engineers. This is for you. But if there are people that never went to college, this is for you also. Very sincerely, I don't know who will be successful first in this business. Your background does not matter in this business. It does not matter where you were born or what star you were born under. None of this matters for you to understand what I'm going to share with you today. I would wake up in the morning and I would take a shower and my phone would ring and it was the office. They would ask me, "Are you on your way?" I would say, "No, I'm about to take a shower." Why? Because there are 8 phone calls for you to return. So there was already people waiting to talk to me by the time I arrived to work. I had to eat breakfast quickly and I went to work. Okay, good. That is what I used to do. I would work, come home, and watch TV at night. The next day, I would wake up and go to work, and at night, come home to watch TV. They would pay me, my salary went into my bank account, and 10 minutes later, it went right out. The next day, I would take a shower, go to work, and at night, I would watch TV. So one day, I had an epiphany. I thought to myself, enough is enough. I asked myself, how long do I have to do this for? And my brain said, for the next 40 years, you idiot. So one day it happened. My alarm sounded loud at 5 a.m. and I hit snooze. 8 minutes later, my alarm rang through my brain and I popped up on my bed. Today is the day I will make changes to my life. Everything changed. And that day I woke up, I went to work, and at night I came home and watched TV. And very quickly, I saw the rest of the year, I would wake up in the morning, go to work, come home, and watch TV. The following year, I would wake up, go to work, and at night come home and watch TV. The following year arrived, and in the morning, I would wake up, take a shower, go to work, and come home and watch TV. 18 years doing that, going in circles year after year. Do you know someone who does the same thing in their life? We work all day to come home and watch TV with your wife and kids, of course. And you go to work, come home, and watch TV. This is the result of our traditional education system. We all receive an education to become employees. Of course, I saw people who studied like me and they had 50 years working and were still doing the same thing. I looked around and everyone in the world was doing the same thing. I began to understand the whole world does the same thing. It is normal, but in my heart, I felt my life was not complete. I felt my life was missing something, and all I could see were the years passing me by. Something inside of me, I guess I had a hunch that there has to be something outside that has a brighter future and better opportunity than what I do now. The next day, I started to look for something. I did not know what it was, but I had my eyes and ears open. I wanted more out of life, and I did not want to settle for mediocrity. I thought to myself, all this education I went to school for, and all I do is increase my debt. How can this be normal? So the day I heard this information, I started to get excited because I saw something different. I saw something where my life could be different because I was bored in life. Look at what the head does. I saw that I was living what everyone else was living, and it's called the game of the economy. My life was the result of what I had studied at the university, but I did not know how to play the game of the economy. What is the game of the economy? The game of the economy functions like so. The education system we know from the beginning is where we send our kids to school so they can start their education. Kids will stay in the house until they become employees and are able to pay their own rent. Meanwhile, their parents are also employees at a different company. We wake up our children every morning very early. Daddy, I don't want to go to school today. You have to go to school. It doesn't matter if it's cold. You have to go. So we send them to school. Do the kids want to go to school? No, they don't want to go. The kids will complain, Daddy, I don't want to go to school. And we tell them, you have to go to school. I don't want to go to school. You have to go to school, son. I went to school and you have to go to school. The kids will ask, why do I have to go to school? I don't have to go to school. The only thing that I can tell them is so that you can one day be just like me. I think the only thing children say is, Daddy, hello. What is it that happened to our society? It is the education that we were taught. Today's world is fantastic depending on the way you see it. The first era we lived in was called the Agrarian Age. It lasted 10,000 years. The second era we lived in is known as the Industrial Age, and that lasted 300 years. When it was our time to come into this world, we arrived during the end of the Industrial Age. We were born at a time when the Industrial Age ended, which can be called a crisis. We were born in the Industrial Age, but we now live in the third era, which is called the Information Age. What's the big problem? The problem we face in today's society is we are told to go to school and we get a traditional education. The education that I received is the same as everyone else in this room. The education we received was put into place at the beginning of the Industrial Age 400 years ago. Today we know this information does not work because the Industrial Age is over. And now we're living in a new era known as the Information Age. So what is the solution? Our education program will lead you to the books we read as part of the journey. The books that I talk about are the books that we have all read. The books tell us that traditional education prepares us to become employees for the industrial age. The problem is the industrial age is over, and today we live in a new era called the information age. Since we live in a new era, what we need is new information. We need a different education because we go to school and are educated in a way that was designed for the industrial age that is now over. The model that we use today is outdated. The method of education that is being used around the world is outdated. It was a system that worked for the industrial age, but does not work in the information era. So if you did not go to school, you're lucky. Stay calm. There are mountains of possibilities that exist in today's economy. You may not be able to imagine it, but the truth is, if you educate yourself in a competitive manner, you can take on any challenges you have in life. Look what happened to me after 20 plus years of education. 40 years as an employee stared me in the mirror morning after morning. How did it get to this? Because the model of education is designed for you to work for the next 40 years, then retire with 20% of what you earn. This is the minimum of how traditional education works. Right now, the economy is not capable of paying those pensions. The model worked during the industrial age. It does not work today. Becoming an employee is something of the past. In the past, we were also taken care of as employees, but now there is no way to guarantee pensions. When ERISA was passed in 1974, that is when the 401k was born. ERISA was the result of changing global markets. Companies stopped offering defined benefit plans and began offering defined contribution plans, which later became known in the United States as the 401k. The problem is a defined benefits plan is a true pension plan, and the defined contribution plan is not a true pension plan. Instead, it's a savings plan. The 401k was never intended to be a pension plan. My generation will be facing the world well educated, hardworking, honest people who in the afternoon of life are in need of government or family support. We finish not knowing how to survive financially on our own. We are educated to face the world without much money after a life of hard work, living in fear of ending up broke. This is called a crisis because we were born at the end of an era. We now live in a different era called the information age. So today I'm going to talk to you about an opportunity that was made for the era we live in. The business model we have aligns with the information age. What is the solution for the crisis that we currently live in? One solution for the crisis we live in is for people to learn how to earn autonomy. How do we invest our time into something that results in autonomy? Our education program that we have inside is an education which can generate the style of life that each of you would like to experience and live. Right now, I'm talking to those of you that do not want to depend on the government. Those of you that do not want to depend on your employer in order to survive and just get by after you retire. This is for those of you who will work to learn the habits and disciplines it takes to not depend on anyone. It is your sole responsibility to learn from our education program. The information will give you all the keys and secrets to this precious business, and you can do it. If I can do it, I know you can do it. And the reason I know this is because I have not had any special privileges. All you have to do is get the information and adjust your life to it. Life penalizes us if we do not use the laws of nature. Look at what happened. They told me 8 years ago that there was a business opportunity and that I was permitted to learn about myself and my character. I was permitted to educate myself and begin to make investments for myself. I thought, if I start to invest in me, one day I will not have to belong or depend on anyone else for anything. If I learn and understand the laws of nature, maybe one day I will be able to help others wake up their spirit after becoming a leader. I was asleep and now I'm awake, and it is because of our education program. I can remember when I first heard the information, I thought it was incredible. Something inside of me said it sounds sincere and it all makes sense. The information sounds natural and logical. I felt that I can do this business and one day stop being an employee only if I'm willing to put in the effort to learn the disciplines and habits of the diamonds. They told me yes. When can I do it and how do I do it? They told me it is possible, and I began to educate myself. The time came when I was able to retire from the world of being an employee. I began to depend on only what I was capable of doing. Our education program showed me from the start what I had to do and how to do it. One of the things that really opened my eyes when I started to understand the routine the traditional education system creates for us, we live the same life every day going in circles. One thing I understood early on was that the TV creates fear in all of our lives. Because if you put the TV on, it will show all of the bad things that are happening outside, all of the bad things that is happening all around us. Banks are closing. People are being killed, plagues and illnesses. So, what happened for me was I saw a huge opportunity because the masses do not do this business. They do not do it for one huge reason, and that reason is fear. Fear stops people from winning. It is fear that stops people from winning. Fear is what controls people. Companies treat employees bad and do not pay wages that create wealth. They treat us bad, and we have to put up with it because we are filled with fear. So when you start to take away your fear, you take away the boss. When you take away the fear, you take away the boss. Fear is in the mind of the people because the education that we get in school is an education that fills us with fear. It is an education that bit by bit creates fear. So clearly, when a person has fear, they're not able to become successful. Have you seen what I'm talking about? What I'm going to talk about tonight is an education program. We have an education program that is spectacular. When you start the business, we plug into our education program that goes to work building the self-esteem of people. It grows your character and starts to wake up the leader that sleeps inside of you. The most precious thing about this is any person can do it no matter where you are from. It doesn't matter if life has never given you an opportunity. Anyone can do it. If you begin to educate yourself and you begin to take away your fear, you begin to grow from within. You will not only triumph in this business opportunity, but in whatever you want out of life. I was an employee and I lived with fear the entire time. Why did I constantly have fear in my life? For me, my reason was because of my yearly reviews. My fate was always in the hands of someone else, and I never liked that. My last review that I had, the fear had finally left. Guess what I did feel? Anxiety. So when I saw this opportunity, I began to educate myself. I read books, I went to the events, I started to associate myself with other successful people. I listened to the CDs and went to the meeting, and I noticed the fear slowly started to leave me, and I started to fill my spirit with self-esteem. I started to be filled with self-confidence that came from the information I needed in order for my life to start changing. The last review I ever had, my boss said, "We need to talk about your review." I said, "Yes, when are we going to talk?" The boss felt my energy and he knew that I was no longer full of fear. I had no more fear. The boss was like, "I feel something weird." The boss could see the change inside of me from fear to confidence. I knew I was ready for a new opportunity. And what I know today is what people need is an opportunity. People want an opportunity they can commit to and give it their all. When I found this opportunity, I came across a story that impacted me to the core. One of the books in the education program I read had a story that has completely changed my perspective on things forever. I knew the day I read this, my life would never be the same. The Story of the Water Supply for the Village by Robert Kiyosaki. Once upon a time, there was a village somewhere near Florence, Italy. It was a great place to live, except for one problem. The village had no water unless it rained. To solve this problem, the village elders decided to bid a contract intended to have water delivered to the village on a daily basis. The water came from a lake which was a mile away, and two families were awarded the contract which states that they had to take the water from the lake and deliver it to the village every day. The elders felt that this would help everyone from the village that had problems accessing water to consume if it did not rain. Okay, so remember, the job is to supply the water for the entire village. The water from the lake was 1 mile away, and the job is to transport it over to the village for people to consume on a daily basis. One of the families that won the contract was ready to start working the next day. What they did was use buckets to carry water from the lake to the village from sunup to sundown. The buckets of water were emptied into a large concrete holding tank that the village had built. On one stick, he would carry 2 buckets. His son also helped carry buckets of water from the lake to the village. His wife later got involved carrying buckets of water, and later he persuaded neighbors to help carry buckets as well. Day after day, before the rest of the village was awake, they began their day carrying water from the lake to the village. So my question is, did the water sell? Yes, of course it did. Water was in big demand. They were happy being the first of the two families contracted to start supplying water to the village. They made money and everyone was happy taking the water buckets on a stick across their back from the lake to the village, which was 1 mile away. Soon his son went off to college and Dad said, "Son, come back quick because one day this contract will be yours." So very quickly, the first contractor started to feel the physical toll on the body. After carrying buckets to the village every single day, health problems began while the second contractor had disappeared for 2 years. 2 years later, the second contractor showed up. What the second family did was focus on the project the 2 years he was gone. They tapped into their creativity and imagination. He asked questions. How can I get the water from the lake to the village where there will always be an endless supply? The second question he asked was, how can I make this possible? After 2 years of focus and determination to come up with a plan, he created and built a pipeline that connected the village to the lake. The second contractor used his creativity and ingenuity and created a plan that was able to bring water to the village and charge cents for the water. The village not only enjoyed the lower cost of the water, but it also enjoyed the convenience to access the water, and that is what made the biggest difference. The second contractor's plan resulted in cleaner water because the buckets brought back dirty water. The first contractor carried buckets while the second contractor dedicated 2 years to study, map out, and create a pipeline or system that connected the lake to the village. It was so successful that the people no longer wanted water from the first contractor. The people wanted water from the pipeline that was available 24/7 so they could wash clothes and take showers more conveniently. The best part of the entire deal was they paid 70% less for the water. It was so successful, the second contractor was able to grow and offer his services to other villages throughout Italy. The author concludes the story by saying in real life, you will either carry buckets all your life or you will study and use your creative imagination to construct a system, and in this case, it is a network to construct an organization. What do you think I had been doing all those years? All these years after college, I had been carrying buckets. You can either carry buckets or find or create a system that makes money for you automatically. So the choice is yours. You either carry buckets or plug into a system that generates money. I thought to myself, I'm an employee and I know I've been carrying buckets of water every day. I don't want to carry buckets of water anymore. That is why it is possible for doctors, lawyers, engineers, psychologists, and economists to do this business. The only difference between them and you is that they have bigger buckets to carry. If you clean houses, your bucket is small, but if a dentist takes teeth out, he has a bigger bucket to carry. The only difference between a professional and you is the size of the bucket. That is the only difference. But in this economy, the entire world is carrying buckets that were meant for the industrial age because we were shown to carry buckets in school. Who are the only ones who do not carry buckets in the industrial age? The rich. Because the rich learned how to construct a pipeline and everyone else carries buckets. That is what I'm going to share with you tonight. It is not optional and no one is going to beg you. Nobody's going to beg you to do this because it's a fantastic opportunity. It is fantastic. It is fantastic. One day, a woman asked me to meet and talk with one of her contacts. This man owned his own business, and when I went to go see him, he was seated in front of me with his arms crossed. His body language projected to me an attitude that said, "Convince me to do this business with you." I thought to myself, with all the information that I have, along with the passion inside me today, have your mother convince you because I'm not going to convince him. I'm not going to convince him. I'm not going to convince him. You can't convince another person to do this business. When you understand this principle, your life will change and your results will change. Contacts or prospects have to listen to information. They have to understand the life that waits for them. If they do not change the way they think and start to do something different, if they do not believe the information that is in the education program, I'm not going to beg them otherwise or try to convince anyone. Do not ever beg people. Do not beg the people. Don't do it. Don't beg people. Look for someone else. 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 There are millions of people that want to become winners. There are people that want to become winners. There are a lot of people out there that are looking for an opportunity so they can give their best effort. So I share with you tonight the opportunity that you have in your hands and right in front of you. Learn how to construct an organization that allows you to own your pipeline that is designed for the information age we live in today. If you do this, one day you will quickly stop carrying buckets of water for a living. What makes you think that we would beg you to do this business? It's incredible when people tell me, "Let me think about it." That's okay. You understand me? It's okay. Doesn't matter because they have the right to think about it. Think about it in bed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because what I will share with you is that this is a spectacular opportunity. It is such a brilliant opportunity. That is why the majority of people are suspicious. Yes, of course. The majority of the people think this is suspicious for one reason and one reason only. They think it's something bad at first. Sometimes when we talk about this opportunity, people will shake their head at you. It was incredible for me in the beginning. It was not so easy to believe. But today, with the belief that I have, we must ask the people who invited you here to give you information to listen to. Ask them to show you the products. Ask them to give you CDs to listen to and start on listening to them. So if you want information, get your hands on it and start your journey right away. This is a process that you will live. You will have a great start from the beginning because of the powerful education program we have. Okay, Well, good. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to tell you how this works. One of the things we do is use the products that we have. It's incredible the quality of products that we have. These are products that you could have never developed, and the work is all done for you. So, this plan is for a bright future. It goes like this. When I told my employer, God bless you, I'm gone, that has precious value. Is there anyone here that would like to get rid of their boss? Who here would like to stop being an employee? This is a genius formula. Do this business so that you can leave your employment. If you left your employment already, you would still have to live the process of learning how to do the business. When I left being an employee, I had to learn how to do the business with the information from the education program. When I become diamond, there will be one less poor person in Texas. The way to stop being poor is if you get yourself out of poverty. What we have to do is get out of the condition that we have in our mind. Our products have made me free financially. The company will pay you money that will give you autonomy. For the first time in my life, I stopped thinking about money. Guess why people never stop thinking about money? Because they don't have it. If you had money, you would not think about it. Now I think about history. I read about ancient Greece. I love to study the dynasties of the world. I love these things. What is all this the result of? The products. Amway is the most brilliant idea that I have ever seen in this economy. If you find something better, please let me know. But from what I have seen in all my education and experience, I believe Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel created the most brilliant idea in 1959 that I have ever seen in today's economy. They created an idea so brilliant that it has continued to grow around the world in more than 100 countries. Russians, Jews, Europeans, Africans, Asians, Latinos do this business without problems. The idea is brilliant, and look at how it works. The company created the infrastructure and manufactures all of the products for us and is responsible for all of the production worldwide. All of the know-how and goodwill is already established. The company has scientists that do the research and development. The technology is also provided for you so you can have a prosperous business on the internet through your portal. What happens is you become a partner for 90 bucks. They will give you a code and you are the owner of your own personal franchise. You become an associate and Amway puts all the capital, all the know-how and goodwill, and lets you focus on stretching towards your dreams and goals. The company hires the employees internally and you become an associate through your code that allows people to buy from your website or portal. You officially have a store on the internet. So that eliminates the excuse that I don't have any money or capital to start a business. The excuse that I do not have any money is eliminated. Okay, so what happens is you purchase a personal franchise on the internet. The name of the company is called Amway Corporation. 60 years of experience and we got your back. What is most impressive is that Amway has the ability to impact economies worldwide. So when you add up all the things that are in our favor, this says people's opinion is a tiny bit smaller than the truth. So when I read that, I said, okay, this is a huge company. It is prosperous, and it has more than 8 million people in the world that have bought a franchise to have their own personal business. Now that you have your own personal franchise, we do the following. Look at how easy this is. How many people live in your house? 4 people live in the house of Sarah. The first thing they will show Sarah is to consume. Sarah and the 4 people in the house consume, 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 and consume. 70% of what Sarah spends outside is spent on advertising, TV commercials, and marketing. Every $10 you spend outside, 70% is for advertising. So very sincerely speaking, you purchase everything possible that you consume at your house. You're going to buy it at cost. because you buy it directly from Amway, who is the manufacturer. You buy it without paying for the marketing and advertising. This is a brilliant idea. And is that all I have to do? Yes, consume. So I started to consume. What are you going to consume? Everything that you currently consume in your house. Every day people take a shower and you use shampoo. There is shampoo that is very high quality. You wash your dishes every day. We have dish soap to wash dishes. There is everything that you need. Everything that you need is there. And what happens? You begin to save 50% of what you would normally spend. The other thing that they do is give us points. When you buy from your franchise, they give you points. You simply buy for your family and Amway gives you points. What else do you get? Supreme quality in all the products you buy. From the beginning of its inception, the company has made products that do not harm the earth. There are many companies and products on the outside that hurt the environment. They contaminate the water and their products are expensive. This fact alone is something that is very important to me. We consume products that are held to the highest standards, which more importantly are eco-friendly. So we consume these phenomenal products each month, and Amway gives you points. They give you points. What are the points for? I have seen on the outside stores will give you points also. The difference is that when you reach a certain amount of points and you want to redeem them, they will give you a wooden spoon or a bowl for your dog. Here, the points are transferred into money. You make a volume of points and they give you money for the points accumulated for the month. The first way to start this business is by consuming. Is that easy to do? So when you do your laundry, we get all the products through your personal franchise online and it's delivered to your door. All of the products we need for nutrition and health, you get it from your business. Sarah is affiliated with the #1 company in the world for nutrition and it's called Nutrilite. We manufacture $4 billion annually and all without advertising and marketing. Guess where they manufacture the majority of these products? In Asia, where they have a long history about nutrition. In Japan, Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and China. This business is precious and the products are the best in the world. Do you see that the Chinese can do it all? This means that you do not have to buy from China as competition. That says a lot. Most businesses on the outside are in competition with China. I love being in business with China. The majority of the things that we buy are made in China. USA is in competition with China. This business has 2,800 diamonds that are from China. That's a lot to say, and it's a direct result of our products. The second beneficial factor is that they do not sell these products in supermarkets. The company lets you do the business with clients. Our products are private from the public. The company permits Sarah to recommend the products to others and they will pay you up to 35% of your sales in cash. Why is it important to promote the products? We promote our products because they are private from the public. So who needs to recommend them? You need to recommend them. So combined with what you buy for your consumption and what people buy from you is how you earn points. You are given points for what you buy and they give you points for what your clients buy, and the 35% of your total is paid to you in cash. And just doing this part, Sarah can make what she makes working 40 hours per week if she learns how to do this professionally. The third aspect of this business is that they let you sell product to people that are not interested in doing the business. But one day you meet Jason, and Jason is awesome. He has a good attitude, he smiles, and likes to learn. So Sarah tells Jason about the opportunity, and he becomes interested and wants to learn more. The company allows Jason to be part of the business with Sarah. The personal franchise store on the internet that Jason now has is connected with Sarah. Sarah helps Jason make money because Sarah learned how to do the business. Sarah learned how to make money and she is excited to show Jason. So let me ask a question. Who on the outside is there to help you with your life? Well, I don't say no one, but not many people. There are not many people out there that will show Jason what to do and what the next steps are, like our education program. So when Sarah told Jason, I'm going to show you a brilliant idea and I will help you with everything that I can, what do you think Jason will say? Hey, sounds good. So Sarah learned how to do well by consuming, and now she has her first franchise. Her first franchise is Jason, and Sarah is going to help him. Jason begins to educate his mind through the education program. We all do this so we can learn how to construct an organization. Jason's going to consume and grow up until he can start creating franchises on his own. All of the franchises that Jason makes also belong to Sarah. So for the first time, Sarah is laying the foundation to stop carrying buckets. Because when Jason understands what he is doing, he is going to grow his franchises. Jason expands his business with the products, and the beautiful part is that Jason can expand his business much bigger than Sarah if he wants to. If he works more than Sarah, this will happen. The company will pay Sarah for all the franchises that Jason creates. As the volume of your franchises grow, the company will give you a ranking. The dream to become free financially is to become diamond. When you make diamond, it's very simple. Find 6 dreamers that want to transform their lives using these products. There are millions of people that want to know about this. People are fed up with carrying buckets. But if Sarah continues to share this idea with people, she will find 6 people that want to change their life. When those 6 organizations grow, Sarah will be diamond. And to be diamond in this business is the biggest privilege that we will ever have. With this brilliant opportunity, I learned to do something new. I learned to do something different. It would be crazy not to learn something new and continue to do the same thing with the end results you do not want. This is the problem that most of us have. This opportunity is fantastic and it sounds fantastic. Anyone can do it. The only thing that you need to do is plug into the education program. And fortunately, this company and the leaders are connected to an incredible model of education. An incredible model of education that permits Sarah to take away her fear, raise her self esteem, and grow the leader inside of her. Sarah is part of a team that will support her where people are doing the same thing and are having success in this business. The biggest leaders in the world are in Amway. The only thing that Sarah has to do is ask the person that invited her that she wants to get to know these leaders. They will make a meeting and she will talk with them. The leaders do not have anything else to do but to help the people who want to know about this business. How are they going to help? By showing them, because they are teachers of this business. So Sarah is part of a team. The first thing that they're going to do is connect you with an event that happens every month. Every month there is a seminar that will talk with you. These teachers learned how to stop carrying buckets. The people that are teaching you are not doing it with theory. They are teaching you from results. People that have results. Do you think this type of education has value? Yes, it does. The most important part of this business is who trains you. The most important part is the education program, and everyone that talks and teaches has results. So I'm going to share with you the formula of how I made it. First thing I did was take people to the seminar. My friends told me that they want to do that. So do you think that seminars work? Yes, they do. The next seminar, I took 10 people. The next seminar, I took 50 people. So I did not have to convince anyone. A leader would come and talk to them that was free financially and talk to them for me. 30 said no, but because they got stepped on and there were too many people that attended the event. The ones who complain from home don't do this business. What do you have to do in this business? Take 10 people to the next seminar. Just do that. Take 10 people to the next seminar. And the next seminar, take another 10. I took 160 and 100 say it's awesome. 60 said how incredible. I want to do this. These people are champions. They think different. They said, what do we have to do? I told them to take 10 people to the next seminar and consume the products. That is how this business works. So if you want to change the cycle that you live in, take 10 people to the next seminar. Don't beg people to come. And in this business, you only work with who you want. I now have more than 10,000 people being educated in this opportunity. The education model works in over 100 countries. You do not have to beg people to do this. This business is not about motivation. And when Jason starts his growth, he will learn on his own. I'm happy for you being here tonight. If someone here makes a decision to do this business, you will be in the best opportunity in the world where millions of people are looking for an opportunity. So you can stop carrying buckets of water. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless.